Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I'm KHOU 11 Meteorologist Pat Cavlin here with a look at your forecast. First of all, beautiful sunrise out there tonight. Behind me, you can see a couple high clouds out there going towards the horizon, but all in all, yeah, it was just a beautiful evening for us. Temperatures are dropping pretty quick though, and hey look, at least it was a warmer day today than what we've had the last few days, up to 50 degrees this afternoon. That was just before 3:30. Look at the low temperature for today, 23. That is just 4 degrees warmer than a record that goes back to 1897. So a long-standing record continues to stand, but we got close to it. Your sunset tonight was at 5:55. Already 38 now in College Station, 41 for Huntsville and Conroe, mid-40s at the airports down to Galveston. Temperatures will drop fast tonight. Despite that, though, we are about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, so a big improvement. And we will see more of these improving temperatures here as we go through the week. Tonight, though, temperatures drop back from the 40s into the 30s. We'll end up in the low 30s by tomorrow morning under mainly clear skies. That's pretty much the name of the game here through the middle of the week. The warming trend will continue. It'll be gradual, so we'll get to the upper 50s tomorrow, the 60s by Thursday, but it's short-lived because our next front comes in for the end of the week. We do stay dry despite the front. We're not expecting any rain, no big winter storm, but we will see some frosty weather getting into the weekend with another freeze expected Friday night into Saturday, and then more so Saturday night getting into Sunday morning. That'll be the coldest night that we see on the 7-day forecast. Just high clouds out there at the moment. Otherwise, though, we are going to start to see clearing conditions. Notice less cloud cover back across West Texas, and that's moving in our direction. So through the overnight, high pressure in charge, partly cloudy. It'll be cold tonight, but not as cold. Overnight lows down into the low 30s. Tomorrow, with high pressure to the east, more of a south wind starts to take over. So it's tons of sunshine, even warmer, high temperatures into the upper 50s. And then we'll actually make a run into the 60s by the time we get to Thursday with mainly sunny skies before our next cold front comes in for Friday. And that'll bring us another shot of some Arctic air across the area for the weekend. Overnight temperatures will start to moderate though. Tonight we're down to 32 in the city, upper 20s though in the surrounding areas. I think we stay in the mid 30s and for Wednesday night and Thursday night in the city with temperatures probably close to freezing elsewhere. That being said, I would not uncover plants because, again, this weekend we've got another freeze on the way. So here are the numbers for tonight. Again, around the freezing mark for the airports, 30 for Conroe, 29 for Cleveland and Huntsville, same for Brenham, 31 for Angleton, 45, though, in Galveston. Getting into tomorrow, mid to upper 50s across the board. The model really wants to keep our northern and western areas a lot colder for some reason. Not really sure what's going on there, but I would say the farther north you go tomorrow, expect to see some cooler temperatures. Within Harris County, though, mid to upper 50s for your highs. What a month it has been, you know. This really goes to show you that January can be anything here in Southeast Texas. We had a week with record-setting high temperatures the first week of the month, and then the middle week here, we were kind of back and forth, couple of above normal days, couple below normal. But really, since last week into the start of this week, temperatures have been at or below normal. In fact, Sunday and Monday, we didn't even crack the 40-degree mark. So for the month, we've got 10 days below normal, one exactly where we should be, which was last Friday, and 16 days above normal. I think we'll finish out the month here with a pretty even split with a couple more below normal days coming up this week. Our current cold snap, though, is on the way out. However, the next one comes in. Again, Friday night into Saturday and Sunday will be our next shot of some colder air. Now, I do think the core of this goes to the east, but we will get a glancing blow here for a couple days with some colder temperatures. Then a third cold snap comes in by the end of next week. I think that'll be far enough to the east where we don't see big impacts here. I think we'll see a cool down here, but I don't think that we're going to see the intense cold, the Arctic outbreak that they will see across the East Coast. Now, if that nudges a little farther west, the forecast will change, but as it stands right now, I don't think that cold snap is really going to be for us. And you can see here on the temperature outlook getting into that time frame, it does look like the colder than normal temperatures stay across the southeast, whereas we're on that divide here. Panhandle, North Texas, getting into some warmer than normal temperatures. I think we'll be pretty close to average here in the 60s getting into the beginning of February. Look at how the numbers dropped though this weekend in Florida. Even though we're going to be cold here. The core of this cold goes into the southeast. We're talking about 17 for Tuscaloosa, 15 Sunday morning in Atlanta, 27 for Tampa, and Miami drops below freezing Sunday morning. So a remarkable blast of Arctic air across the southeast for this weekend. We'll see temperatures here at home in the 20s. Again, the worst of it, though, will be to our east. Traveling tomorrow across the northeast, not bad. Mix of sun and clouds. I mean, not bad weather-wise. Temperature-wise, it's frigid. Highs only in the 20s and teens. High temperatures, depending on where you are. In the southeast, not too bad. 40s and 50s, so still chilly. Everybody is cold right now. Even Tampa won't even crack 60 degrees tomorrow. Miami stuck in the 60s with mainly cloudy skies. Across the Lone Star State for tomorrow, 60 for El Paso. Colder, though, for Midland and Dallas in the 40s. We will make it into the 50s from San Antonio to Houston, and then cold farther north through Oklahoma City and Kansas in the 30s and 40s. You want real cold? 8 is your high temperature in Minneapolis tomorrow. 10 for Green Bay, 15 in Chicago. Only Kansas and Missouri make it above freezing, along with Rapid City. Through the southwest, more clouds but dry for LA, up to 70 degrees. Wintry mix possible for Salt Lake City. Denver keeping the warm winter going, 52 with sunshine, 74 for Phoenix, 50s for Reno. And then in the Pacific Northwest, our next storm system moves onshore, bringing rain to Portland and Seattle. Temperatures in the 50s there. Mountain snow for the northern Rockies, getting down towards Idaho. And then breezy conditions on the front range out towards Wyoming. Back here at home tonight, not as cold, partly cloudy. 31 for Spring Branch, 29 for Tomball, 32 downtown. Same for Olcott. We'll do 32 in Katy, 27 for Navasota, 29 for Livingston, 45 though in Galveston. Tomorrow, not as harsh, mainly sunny. Again, we're back to the 50s across the board. 54 for Navasota, 58 in the city, 53 for Galveston, close to 60 though in a couple of spots with tons of sunshine. There's your 7-day forecast. So again, 58 for tomorrow, 65 for the day on Thursday. Next cold front comes in Friday, so we drop down to the mid-50s. But we really turn cold Saturday and Sunday morning. So Saturday morning, we're down to 30 degrees and we only get to 45 as your high temperature. Could see a hard freeze then Saturday night into Sunday morning. So again, keep the plants covered for this weekend. Beyond that, sunshine returns with highs in the 60s for next week. That's a look at your forecast here on KHOU 11+. I'll have a full update coming up on the KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock.